Hello, everybody. It's me. It's Shad. It's Polynerdic. I'm here once again to talk about some tabletop RPG stuff. I've been churning these videos out tonight, hence the same shirt and all of these. I'm going to space them out over some days on the YouTube scheduling. But in the last video, I dropped a little teaser that we're going to talk about something Soulsborne-y. And then I remembered something else. So this isn't the Soulsborne thing that I was going to talk about, but it is definitely Soulsborne because it is the Dark Souls, the role-playing game, Tome of Strange Beings. It's a very thin monster manual for the Dark Souls game. I do not have this one in PDF form, but I wanted to show it anyway because for whatever reason, if you don't know, the Dark Souls official TTRPG is based on 5th edition. At the time it was announced, lots of us out there, even me who was an only 5th edition player, didn't feel that it was the best system to represent what Dark Souls and Bloodborne are like. I would continue to hold that opinion, but it's already out. It's a 5th edition book. In case you doubt me, 5e compatible. For whatever reason, they went with it. And this book has a lot of Dark Souls 1 enemies, I think. I don't think any of these are from anything else. And it's broken down into beasts and fiends and kind of like aberrant stuff. Undead. It looks like there's... I don't know. Did Dark Souls 1 have hollows with giant cages on their back? Because I thought that was 3. I thought that was 3 that had that in it. I didn't get very far into any of the Dark Souls games. For reference, for those of you that know this stuff, Dark Souls 1, I got to the fight with the boss that has the 2 dogs in the room with him, and it's a little tiny room. Dark Souls 2, I got to the ship inside a cave. And Dark Souls 3, I might have got the longest into. I got to the giant tree fight. Yeah, that's where I stand with those. I got much farther into Elden Ring, but it has a bunch of Souls monsters in it. It's like if you like Souls monsters, even if you don't play. Even if you don't play the Dark Souls game and you just want some of these monsters as inspiration, Ornstein. I know you can't read it, it's kind of out of focus, but I'm just showing you what's in here. The Consumed King, Gwyn, Lord of Cinder, Grave Lord Nito, Dark Sun Gwendolyn, the Chaos Witch, the Centipede Demon, the Ceaseless Discharge, which is still one of my favorite names, the Bed of Chaos. It's a 2-pager. Since we're discussing 5e books that aren't made by WotC, I had to do a quick video on this one. I know this isn't the longest one. Some of you are probably saying thank God after how long I rambled about the Critical Role book. But it's just good inspiration. You know, undead assassins and undead crystal soldiers. And like I said, Gravelord Nito, Seath the Scaleless, if that's how that's pronounced. Slave Knight Gale. The Four Kings. I once had a Bloodborne PDF that transformed some of the Bloodborne villains into 5e. creatures, and it was good too. It wasn't from the same people. But if you're in the mood for some tough monster ideas, and you like Dark Souls, there you go. Dark Souls, the role playing game. Um, I'm not sure who publishes it. SFG? I don't know who that is. Steamforged Games. Disappointed in myself for not knowing that. I know that name. Anyway, Steamforged Games put out the Dark Souls TTRPG. This is a good manual. It's. I was a little disappointed with how thin it is. Um, when you've got like earlier we talked about the Dragon X's Deadly Denizens, and it's like, really, this is your, but small complaint. And it cover price is, I don't normally talk about the price. In fact, I'm not gonna talk about the price in these. These books are worth it if they are worth it to you. I know that's really lame, and that's like life needs life to live kind of sentiment, but if you're into the stuff and you want the monster manual, look it up. I think it's cool. I like the world building of Dark Souls a whole lot more than I like playing them, and this fits that. I now have Dark Souls monsters, and you can too. That sounds like an ad. This is not an ad. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with maybe one more of these tonight and get them uploaded. Who knows when you'll see this. I'm going to try to roll these out between now and Christmas and the end of the year. So don't support Hasbro, in my opinion. This is just one man's opinion. Don't support Hasbro. Don't buy WotC stuff, and unless you're getting it secondhand. It is not a condemnation of their work, although I do think a lot of the best stuff comes outside of WotC. The people that work there that do the game design, they all seem really rad and into what they do, and I wish them the best, and I wish their corporate masters didn't suck ass. But if you're looking for 5e stuff, here's one of them. Here's a good 5e book. We've talked about a number of them. I'm going to pull out a PDF, and we'll be back with one more Soulsborne-y kind of thing. Stay tuned. And again, like, follow, subscribe. Really helps me out, like they used to say all the time on the internet.